Welcome to the Scam Economy with your host, Matt Bender.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Scam Economy Crypto Hotline live post show episode number 10. Damn, that's a mouthful. Oh man, but I'll get used to it. I'll get used to it. And it's over here, and there is that little logo I forgot to put on the main episode this week. 10 episodes in, and I messed up on the 10th episode. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I can. Honestly, I don't know why I'm acting like it's shocking that I would screw something up like that. That's what I do. That is what I do. Phone lines are open. Grab your Skype app. Open that bad boy up. Excuse me. Log in. Search Doomed Live. You could do it on your computer, your desktop, your phone, your tablet. Everywhere there's Skype. Search Doomed Live. I gotta retest what happened the last time because I set up a new Scam Economy one and it didn't work for some reason with my streaming software, but I'll figure it out and then we'll get back to. We already got a call. We already got calls. I'm picking one up and here we are. Oh, wait a minute. It's my
Hello.
Hold on. Let me put you up on the stream. It's my favorite caller. How are you?
You put me on?
You are on. Wait. Yep, you are on the stream. How are you doing, buddy?
Wait.
Oh,
Welcome
it's
to the Crypto Show with Cameron Robson.
It's
Today we have our guest, Matt Binder. Now, I've heard that you're some sort of crypto apologist, or like you don't like it, or one of them things.
Well, apologist would be if I did like it, wouldn't it be? I'd be someone defending it every chance I got.
Beep, beep, beep. Oh, wait, we've just got an update. Unfortunately, there's been a mine collapse problem with somebody's crypto mine.
Is it yours? You know, Mr. Hard Hat back there?
No, I don't want to say whose it was, but apparently this mine is it's full
Imploded.
of shit. Excuse my French. They've hit a septic tank they didn't know that was there, and the mine is
Full of shit.
no more.
I gotta say, you're looking very spiffy. I enjoy your late night talk show outfit. It's very good. I should dress up. I probably wouldn't look as good, but you look very, I don't know, professional, which is something I do not look.
Damn it, you completely disarmed me. I don't know if I can continue with this.
I'm sorry, I ruined you. By the way, your sign was, we got the mirror image of it, so we couldn't read the crypto.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
So you got the mirror image of this?
Yeah, it's backwards. It's back. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
This was the sign.
Yeah, that's wait.
Does that
You
work?
you actually wrote it. The
I forgot one thing. As part of my outfit, I was gonna wear this big old ring
that's pretty. Is that
that I
the?
made from making crypto money.
That's what I was gonna say. It had to have been. It looks like it's quite expensive. Couple.
Yeah, no, it's definitely made of like lots of gold and diamonds and.
Looks like it, right?
That's
6
stuff
figures
like
right there, right?
Yeah, I've got 6 fingers. Okay, I'm gonna let you go.
You got Marvel, DC. You got a Batman figure, a Spider-Man figure, right? 6 figures.
Fingers?
Figures.
I've got 6 fingers.
Oh, okay.
I lost a lot of them in the mine.
Oh, that's all you got left. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure when you call in, Cameron. I always look forward to it every week to see, I guess, what's going to be new now on the crypto show with Cameron Robinson. Robson.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Robson.
Yeah.
Have a great night, buddy.
Yeah, you too. Right.
I thought that was good. That was good. Not as good as the minor one where you just showed up, but that was good. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt. This is Sam from Minnesota.
Hey, Sam from Minnesota. What would you like to talk about?
I'll keep it brief, but I got a scam that happened to a family member. And I like it actually happened years ago, but I kind of like remember it, and then so I like asked my mom about it today because I knew the show was on tonight.
So let's hear this. I'm interested.
So it was probably like maybe like 10, 12 years ago, and so
this is a non-crypto scam then.
Yeah, and it's like kind of a bizarre scam, but like I don't know, like it's kind of crazy that it worked, but basically like my grandma gets a phone call, and my grandma's like, I think probably at this time she's like maybe 82 or 83, like somewhere around there, and she lives alone. She gets a phone call, and the person on the other line just says, "Grandma," and so yeah, and my grandma goes, "Tyler," and so like right there she's already like hooked in. And yeah, basically this person's just like, yeah, I got like these last minute tickets to fly to Europe because there was a wedding and like one of the groomsmen like couldn't make it, and I got asked if I wanted to go, so I'm over here, but I got in a car crash and I'm in the hospital and I need to to get out. And so like my grandma like just went, I think she went like right down to the bank maybe and like withdrew money, and then like went to like a telegraph thing or something like that to like, I don't know, send it over somehow. I'm not exactly sure. She must have got like if it's a whatever kind of check. And then the thing like how she like ever figured out it was like a scam is because they called back and tried to do it again. And so then she like went to the bank another time, and then the bank like called my mom. So Tyler's actually my brother, and she called my mom and was like, "Do you have like a son that's overseas right now?" And she's like, well, I should maybe call and check, but I don't think so, And yeah, just I think kind of like a classic scam, but like I don't know, it can really there's vulnerable people who can fall for it.
That's a classic one. Yeah, that's one I've heard many times. That same specific scenario where someone will call an elderly person and just socially engineer them to give them information without them realizing it, and then they use that information to make it seem like whatever they're saying to this person is legit, and then before you know it, you got grandma sending over. Do you remember how much she sent over?
It ended up being like my mom said it was like $2,600 or something like that.
Oh, that's that's a lot of money.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And and she would have kept going too if the bank didn't step in.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if like Coinbase would step in if someone was doing that with their Coinbase investment earnings or funds that they have. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say Binance and Bitfinex and KuCoin and Coinbase and FTX and all the major exchanges are not going to step in. I'm just gonna make that crazy assumption here.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a given. I just want to ask you one thing, and then maybe I'll actually like get off the line too. I'll just ask you this. I get a little bit worried that like I don't know, like maybe where it's like just happening and like I don't know, like this whole scam economy is like just gonna take over and like we can't do anything about it. Do you ever get like worried that I don't know, it's just like is already here and it's maybe not good, but it's gonna happen?
I mean, I think it's too late to stop it in terms of like the critics doing something to stop it, like say like outright kill the industry. But if we can stop it by convincing people that this is not good and it's a scam, and then their money will dry up and the industry will die that way. Like they're only gonna, like the industry can't last if new people aren't coming in. Like that's the thing.
Sure.
It's not like a product where you can just get your customer base and, obviously it helps to get new customers, but your old reliable customers, if they're happy and you keep them happy, they'll keep your company afloat. That can't happen here because people will eventually expect return, and when they don't get that, they ain't gonna be your customer anymore in terms of like on the exchanges or buying your token or NFT or whatever, and so it will die.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's just like pretty like it's just everywhere now. Like, you watch a basketball game and they're like talking about like NFTs being on, like, oh, you like this play happened and it's like, oh, you got to go see if you can score this sick pass that, this athlete made and like frame it as a, commemorative like NFT or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. A little crazy how widespread it is. But
right. I mean, it's also not that widespread yet. I mean, it is. If you're online and you're seeing it everywhere because of who you follow. I mean, if you're watching this show, you clearly have some inkling about how much. Obviously there were commercials during the Super Bowl and everything, but the vast majority of people do not deal with crypto at all in their lives. Do you know what I mean? Like we are like even hearing about it. It's just a non issue for them right now. I mean, obviously, there's a whole industry trying to change that, and that's why this show exists. But yeah, I think it's totally possible that this is it's too late, but more likely, I think it's not.
That's cool. Well, great episode tonight. It was I really liked the. I mean, I think you said it at some point tonight that like, out of all the like negative things, like the climate one is obviously the most like, just, I don't know, like, for me, it's like the biggest reason to not, like if crypto like was somehow, like if Bitcoin and like these transactions, like the stats that you read about it tonight, it's like just crazy. If that wasn't the case, then like maybe, I'd be more like receptive of like, okay, this is a fine thing. But yeah, the climate stuff, the impact, it's just crazy. So it was good to hear some more about that tonight on the show. So good job.
I appreciate that. I mean, like I said, it's definitely not the area that I feel most comfortable in my knowledge of, which is why I had someone on who is more knowledgeable. But it also seems to be probably the most important of the issues. I mean, even if they somehow solve all the other issues, this is still a major waste for nothing. It's outputting nothing. It's creating nothing. It's just a money-making scheme using up massive amounts of energy that literally could be used to power entire countries' economies and their living standards and stuff. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, straight up. All right. Peace, man.
Take care. Have a great night. Thanks for the call. All right. Someone just called and I missed it. Feel free to call back in. Let me go to, where is it? Okay, let me do this because I wanted to I want people to obviously do this because it's something I've been really asking you guys to do for. Oh, we got a call. Let me take the call. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt. Dave from Jamaica.
Dave
how are you doing?
From Jamaica. I am so happy you called in because I was worried about you earlier today. You called into the you called into the majority part when I was on, and Dave from Jamaica, super smart guy, always knows what's going on, and you were inquiring about sports betting with Emma. And I was like, whoa, what happened to Dave from Jamaica? Are you okay, my friend?
Well, first thing I was going to do is, after reflecting on that a bit, I wanted to apologize to the MR crew and Emma especially. I'm not sure why I was thinking about asking for sports betting tips.
Yeah,
But-
I was a little bit. I was like, whoa. Well, first of all, I was hoping she wouldn't give you any, which she didn't, because even if she did hit like hit the lottery and knew exactly what she was doing, you can't be telling people like. I mean, because then they're gonna go ahead and like the one time they go ahead and do it, that's gonna be the week you lose. You know what I mean? That's just how that's just how luck works.
No, you're right. Well, if you can deliver that to Emma for me, please do. I'm not sure what I was thinking. Maybe it's sometimes you have to keep your subconscious on the top.
Right.
But yeah. Oh, what I was gonna say, yeah. Folks don't gamble. I should say it. It's not going to help out.
Right.
But also good show, man. I found that pretty informative. But
Thank you.
It seems like crypto is constantly looking for a reason to quote unquote exist.
Oh,
to solve quote unquote problems that
absolutely. It's looking.
they can't really solve that well either.
It's looking to be the solution to a problem it can't find.
Because I'm thinking about like if it's going to be, they say, a backup system. I think there's other financial electronic systems that work far better and more efficient than crypto.
Yeah,
And
it's
as you said, you have the backing
right.
of you like you gave the example with the old elderly folks who get scammed. At least the bank will say, oh, there's some suspicious activity, and at least there's a cutoff point. But yeah.
Right. There's nothing. No one. If you're about to buy a JPEG ape NFT, and it's clearly a scam. Like there was one I saw. Okay, so basically, let me tell you guys a quick one. Okay, so there's an NFT swapping service. So like OpenSea, where people put their NFTs up for auction or for sale, and you basically buy an NFT straight up with your Ether on the Ethereum blockchain. And that's the only way to acquire an NFT on OpenSea. You have to purchase it with Ether on the Ethereum blockchain. Well, there exists NFT swapping services where basically, oh, I like your NFT, you like my NFT, let's trade. No actual exchange of massive amounts of crypto required. Well, one of these NFT swapping services, they basically have like a verified thing to verify that the person who's put their NFT up for sale, that it's the actual NFT that they say it is. Like it's a verified, like a Twitter NFT badge for a user. They have a verification badge for the NFT, like the photo connected to the NFT. So like, they verify it's a actual Bored Ape Yacht Club ape. Well, an ingenious scammer noticed that on this particular NFT swapping service, they put that verified badge on top of the image itself on that platform. So the badge, like the image of that little badge, it's like on the bottom, like right-hand corner, but on the image as it's displayed on that NFT swapping platform. So some genius, like I'm being serious, extremely ingenious idea for a scammer to go about. Decided to grab 3 right-click and save 3 photos of Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs that they did not own. Photoshop that fucking little verified badge on those images exactly where that NFT swapping platform puts it, like when they actually verify it. And they uploaded the fucking NFT, they uploaded the fucking verified photo versions onto that NFT swapping platform and asked to swap with someone who did actually have Bored Apes. And the guy saw the little verification badge on those photos and said, oh, it's the real deal. And he fucking did the swap. He basically sent the scammer like $500,000 worth of real Bored Apes, and in exchange got the right-click save as Bored Apes with the little verification badge photoshopped on top of it. Worthless.
Yoinked. Well, I guess they're all technically worthless, but
yes, but also worthless and even that in their own little scam world, their own little Ponzi world, worthless.
So basically, I'm probably that guy already cashed out immediately.
I mean, yeah, you don't want to hold it. I mean, what's the point? Who cares? The point is to cash out ASAP. And I mean, let's face it, this guy is likely going to get away with it because, it took $3.4 billion for Razzle Khan and her boyfriend to something be done about her. And then there was that NFT crackdown on, I forgot the Frosties NFT creators. It took them already scamming people out of millions of dollars and then going back to double dip with a second scam NFT project that put them on the radar of like the FBI. Then if this guy just cashes out after, it's a smart thing to do would be to just move that money around like you could do on the blockchain, even though people will track it, set up some NFTs, buy some NFTs, send a little bit to someone random, buy, so it looks like a legit transaction to someone who you don't actually know. You're not going to get all $500,000, but you walk away with $450,000. You know what I mean? And it helps throw people off your track. Easy for them to steal that amount of money. That's, all these things, like that's how they get caught. They get greedy. If you just skim a couple $100,000 to a couple $1 million, you'll probably get away with it in this world because people don't you got to be one of the big fucking greedy ass motherfuckers out there stealing so much shit for you to be put on anybody's radar.
So I'm just shocked at this thing because I'm sorry. I guess the scope of how much of a scam this whole crypto stuff is, it's staggering to me. And here's the thing. I know the previous caller was worried about crypto taking over the place. But then I come to the realization I'm not sure it can. Because if it operates like a traditional pyramid scheme, if I'm correct, right? So eventually it's good. I know with most pyramid schemes, you basically run out of people.
Yeah.
In other words, the base, the bottom of the pyramid can no longer sustain it. So eventually, I don't know when, the crypto bubble will pop. I'm not sure when it will pop, but it's going to pop because I can't see it being sustained. Eventually, there's not going to be enough, what's the best word? Suckers to support it. Why you think it's lasted so long? Or as you said, it's not that big yet.
Right.
In terms of scope.
I mean, because there's a lot of suckers out there who are looking, and I don't say that to be mean, but that's exactly what they are to these people. Like, they're marks. It's the same thing, you see this with, conspiracy theorists and cults. They know what type of person, I mean, obviously it's different for every single one. Religious cults go for people who are easily susceptible to, looking for a greater meaning or a greater power or reason for being here. In QAnon, they were looking for someone to explain why, the political outline, even their life in a lot of senses, like with the Nesra stuff that I covered on Doomed, why they are in the situation they're in and trying to find meaning and explanation of that. With this, a lot of it is connected to the financial crisis. I mean, people lost a lot then. And so that turned them off of the system as a whole, which obviously. And so they were looking for something different that can replace that and enrich them. And they're these fucking schemers and scammers and fraudsters and, whatever you want to call them. They know that that's that's their mark. That's who they're going after. And so they basically tell these people, this is the new financial system. It's going to destroy everything that came before it, that ruined, you lost your money, your home, your job. That's the old, the big banks did that to you. Can't trust the US dollar. Look at inflation.
Mhm.
This is going to solve everything. It's going to make you rich in return. Look at all these other people getting rich. Everyone's going to be rich. It's going to take down the old moneyed people. You're all going to be the new people in power.
So it's-
Literally feeding them everything they want to hear. And these people who are listening to this going, that sounds fucking great to me. I want in. I want in. I don't want to be left behind in this new system like I was in the old one.
No, I definitely understand that. And the looking for community and the cultish nature of it. But I guess for me, I'm still doing the typical pyramid stuff where it still needs so much more new people to keep it flowing, right?
Yeah.
So I just think even I like, how can I say, even with cults that are not running to make profit or anything like that, they're just crazy cults. They can continually grow because they're not exactly in it to make money. But crypto, the guys at the top of it need to make money. So they keep, as you said, that's why you're seeing it in basketball games. And hell, when I was watching your show, the first thing that pops up is a crypto ad, right? So,
Right. I mean, why do they feel a need to constantly promote this? I mean, obviously you could say that about anything, maybe, a product, obviously they need to promote it to make money. Same thing here, but with a product, what are they selling? They're selling the product. And this, what are they doing? They want you to, you watch a commercial for some, a new, video game, and you go out and you buy that video game. End of transaction. I've said this a million times before. That's the point of that commercial. Go out, buy the video game. You go out, you buy the video game. That's it. You're happy. If you don't like the video game, sure, I guess you can return it, right? Here, they're selling you on an investment. You go, you make that investment. Is that the end of the transaction? No, because you expect to make back your money. You didn't get anything in return for the $1,000 you just put in. You got a bunch of Bitcoin, you got a bunch of Ether, whatever the fuck you bought. But what does that mean? Nothing. You can't do anything with that. What you're expecting to do is resell that, trade that on the exchanges for more money.
You're buying it to sell it.
Yeah,
right?
for more money down the road. Well, what happens when that doesn't happen? I mean, you lost out. And with those commercials, they need you to do that, because if that new money isn't flowing in, who's the repeat customer? Yeah, there'll be repeat customers if they sold off and made money, and then they're like, it's back down for various reasons. I'm gonna buy back in, and this process will repeat itself, and I'll make more money. But they can't bet on that, and that's not what you can sell, really. I mean, they need new people. They need brand new customers all the time, and I mean, it's also a very, very technical world for even like internet natives, like people who are regularly online, are like people who are fucking in the crypto world. The people who are being scammed out of their tokens and out of their fucking monkey JPEG NFTs, those are the people who are ostensibly the crypto, not even just pro crypto, like those are the smart genius crypto investors, right? The people who get this, right? And they're the fucking people who are connecting their wallet to some scam system, or trading with some idiot, trading with some genius, I should say, who fucking photoshopped a fake Bored Ape. I mean, those are the people falling for the dumbest of scams. The people who are ostensibly get crypto. And now you want people who don't understand this at all, don't get even fucking the technical shit, are gonna 100% forget their fucking password and lose their seed phrase and then be locked out of their wallet forever. You want those people to be your customers and then stay and keep investing? No, like I'm almost like, let's just get this over with. Get all these people to actually try this shit out and then be so turned off by it that they never go back. And then all the fucking VCs, all the investors will go, holy shit, that's it. That's the end. There's nothing else. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, that's why the money keeps pumping. Because right now, there's a whole world, billions upon billions upon billions of possible marks. Without that, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. That is what that's all there is. The fucking possible
you make a
marks.
good point, Matt, because like even with my embarrassing call today, at least with sports gambling, not promoting it, there is you can see the logic to it. With crypto, since there's no there, or there's, let me think, Herbalife. At least with Herbalife, you got the stupid protein bar, right? Even though it's filling up your garage. But there's literally no here. And I think you're right. Once people realize there's nothing to it. And I see somebody in the chat talking about technology. It doesn't even have that, because we have better forms of tracking, and we have better forms of technology when it comes to digitally dealing with currency and stuff. So it literally has nothing. So I think you're right. Maybe the more people that are exposed to it, maybe the sooner this whole crypto crap can end. I hope, at least.
Yeah.
But I think I've taken up way too much time, Matt. But also, thanks for having me on. And again, I apologize. Don't know what I was thinking about that call about sports gambling.
It's all
Completely
good.
sorry about that.
We all make mistakes sometimes.
Well, that was a horrible one. But anyway, later.
Take care. Have a great night. All right. Always a pleasure when Dave from Jamaica calls in. And glad he's doing okay. He did worry me a little bit with that with his sports. I was like, oh boy, is he like got it on hard times or something, and he's desperate to get into some hold on. There's someone who said something in the chat that I wanna. Oh, we got a call here. Another call. Here we go. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello. Yeah, I'm Osama from Canada.
Oh, hi, Osama from Canada. How are you doing? What would you like to talk about?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. See, I have a pretty good memory, and I don't think you've called into the show before, and I love first-time callers, so welcome to the show.
No, I've been a listener, but I usually miss the live stream.
Ah, here we go. I love it. What would you like to talk about?
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking of like how all of this crypto stuff happens in the English-speaking world, right? So I was wondering like how this sort of stuff still might happen, but in like, for example, the Spanish-speaking world or the Arab-speaking or Hindi-speaking world, like if they run out of suckers in the Western world, will they just move on to like newer areas in that sense?
Right. I mean, crypto is sort of global in the sense that other scams aren't, because all these exchanges are based. A lot of these exchanges are not based in the U.S. actually, and I do see a lot of people in not a lot of people I should say, but I do see a lot of people in the tech world, in even developing nations, sort of buy into that idea that this is something that's going to make them even comparatively for their for what's rich in their country rich, and this is their way of like, oh, most people in my country aren't into this. I'm going to be into this, and I will be the one who makes the money, and then I'll be one of the rare crypto millionaires in my country.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a new middle class sort of developing in the like the developing world, for example, like India. Then what sort of happens in, for example, if do you think it's still that the English speaking world is the majority of this, or do you think there are like others, like in other languages it's happening more, like the promotion and everything like that?
That is a good question. I would say most of the money is in the English speaking world in the West. I don't know how it would break down user wise, because when you think of everything in this whole ecosystem, last episode last week with on Axie Infinity with Ed Zitron, we were discussing how Axie Infinity claims to have like millions of users, and something like 35% of their user base is from the Philippines. So that makes up a large chunk of this world, of the crypto ecosystem, just with that one NFT game, Axie Infinity. So that is a good question. I do wonder. I don't have an answer for you. I would venture to guess, and I'm pretty safe in saying this. I feel pretty safe saying this. The vast majority of the money is from the West. When it comes to
I would assume that the actual money makers are in the West, because
that too.
That's where the sort of technology started, and crypto was like popular there from like in terms of their scammers before it transitioned to the rest of the world, right?
Right. Right.
But yeah, what do you think of like? I know there are 8 countries that have banned crypto as of yet. So do you think like there will be a trend of countries just outright banning it, or do you think it will be more like once countries actually start realizing the harm that it's causing? I know the US is very slow in this type of stuff because a lot of scams get away, but do you think like Europe or, for example, will start banning this as well, like China has in some of the other countries?
Yeah, there's a reason China has done it, and there's a reason why Europe has been looking into really coming down hard on crypto. Honestly, I think they wanted to look into banning some sort of maybe even all mining. I'm not 100% sure what I last read, but they were seriously looking at dropping the hammer down on the crypto industry in Europe. The U.S. is stuck on the idea of technological innovation, and we don't want to stifle that because we want to be the crypto. I mean, you hear the mayor of Miami and the mayor of New York City fighting over who is going to be the crypto capital of the world. I mean, give me a break. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean it's also the SEC is like a self-regulating thing in the financial world, right? Like it's not like a governmental organization.
No, SEC is it is a let me get you the exact. It's an agency. No, it is a government agency. It's under
Oh,
the yeah, it isn't. It's a well, it's a it's an independent agency of the United States federal government.
oh,
And interestingly enough, it was created in the aftermath of the Wall Street crash of 1929.
oh,
So, so I mean, it did take a major problem where people lost a lot to do something about it. And I guess
yeah.
eventually this will happen here too. I do wonder if that's do we want it to even I do wonder about regulation and how it could possibly legitimize this
Like,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. The thing is that they're so far behind in trying to manage the traditional economy that I don't know how they would do that. And like, are they even looking into it in that sense, or do they even have the resources to look into it?
I mean,
Because there's so much else happening.
I think they don't. I think the problem is they don't understand what's going on. They don't understand quite what like I don't think. I think you're right. They don't have the resources. It's not under their purview of just being a financial asset they're looking at. This is much more in terms of how it works and how it runs. Like, there are all sorts of financial scams, but these are somewhat technical in a sense where like you do need some sort of like I can probably figure out how to you know call up some elderly person like the first caller did and convince them to go to the bank and send me money. It doesn't take any sort of like technical know-how to do that. When it comes to stealing someone's NFTs, sure, it takes social engineering in the beginning, but the next step is usually you convince them to connect their wallet to some sort of nefarious program that you've put together with a smart contract that steals all their shit. So like, to
Yeah.
carry that out, you do need some sort of, programming or development experience. So that could really be part of it in terms of like them trying to understand exactly what's going on here. But I'm assuming they do probably have a technical, like, capabilities in terms of people hired who do understand this world. They do have to get more onto the playing field here to understand what's going on. So if they don't already have people employed there who know this stuff, they certainly should get on that.
Yeah, and usually the US is like stands on this sort of laissez-faire where like it will work itself out. That's why US is usually behind Europe in a lot of regulations in the traditional sense, not just in this crypto sphere as well. So I guess maybe there'll
Yeah.
be
I mean, Europe's
yeah.
got a lot of great privacy laws over there, which, funny enough, will, I think, like the right to be forgotten law over there. I don't think
Yeah.
how that coexists with blockchain at all. It's literally how can any company abide to that law, which basically says in Europe, a European citizen, a citizen of the EU, can basically request all of their data, and that not only want all their data, they want the company to not keep any of their data. It's a right to be forgotten. You cannot.
Yeah.
I want to delete my account. That means it's completely deleted. You don't have anything. You don't retain anything. How does that work on an immutable database where nothing
Yeah,
could
it
be
can.
removed, nothing could be deleted? I mean, right now where we're just dealing with, transactions and, things like that, I can see how maybe they are able to, it doesn't really become a problem. But if companies that want to introduce blockchain into everything, like, get their way, how do you put people's healthcare records on a blockchain? There are companies who want to do that. How do you put
I hope
people's
not.
yeah, how do companies put personal identifiers, IDs, other forms of identification, other personal and private data, sensitive data? How do you put that on a blockchain and also abide to a right to be forgotten? It doesn't seem like it can be.
Yeah. And I hope it doesn't move beyond the financialization sense, because right now, like all the transaction and stuff like that, that's where the money is, right? Can they actually even make a profit from doing all of the rest of the stuff, or is it just fluff to get people excited about the blockchain?
What's the question?
Like right now, they're just using it for like a sort of gambling thing, right? And the
Right.
NFTs are like a part of that. Everything's like a monetary transaction. But what does it even benefit them in any way to try to implement the blockchain in like health records or like licenses or like housing agreements and all of that stuff? Or is it just like fluff they give their give the true believers to get them excited about the technology?
Oh, right. Well, I would say it's a little bit of both. Obviously, there are companies who are backed by major VCs, like Andreessen Horowitz, and they are definitely making bank because they are basically selling illegal securities. They're basically flaunting SEC law. Go back to the episode with Amy Castor about the Bored Ape project and the Bored Ape Yacht Club and their Ape Coin project that's technically not connected to Yuga Labs, the company that owns Bored Ape, because
Yeah.
otherwise it would be seen as a security. It'd be a stock in the company. But
Yeah.
because it's not run by Yuga Labs and is run by the foundation, which just happened to give the Bored Ape Yacht Club folks at Yuga Labs tons of ape coin, because of that reason, that's not considered a security. I mean, I don't see how the SEC is not going to go after that one. It's the biggest
Yeah.
NFT project backed by one of the biggest venture capital firms. That's going to be the one where, mark my words, they're going to go after that one.
Yeah, I hope that their own greed gets them before they can cause like harm in other sectors of society.
Right.
But yeah, I think other people might want to talk now. So
All right. That was a
have good
great
one.
call, great questions. Thanks so much for calling in. Hope you call back in again later and in the future, I should say.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Yeah, I'll try. Have a good one.
Bye. All right, let's go. Oh, there was something I wanted to. Oh, did you guys hear that? Okay, go back last week, Axie Infinity episode. I was talking to Ed Zitron, great guest, but he didn't think that there would be a bailout on the way for Axie Infinity. Remember, they were hacked for $625 million on their Ronin network blockchain, and they couldn't pay out to their users, those Filipino people who do this for a living, who play this play to earn game for a living. They couldn't pay them out. And he didn't think there was going to be a bailout. And I went so far as saying, not only do I think there's going to be a bailout, but I said, I bet it will be some mix of the exchanges and some venture capital firm because neither can let Axie Infinity just die like that. It can't just fail. It is literally the one and only example of a popular, and I want to stress, not successful, popular NFT crypto game. It's the only one that people ever mention because it's the only example of one that's played by more than just a handful of people on a regular basis. And lo and behold, a couple days ago, it was announced that Binance, a crypto exchange, and surprise, surprise, Andreessen Horowitz are giving $150 million to the company that runs Axie Infinity. Now, $150 million isn't $625 million, but they'll find a way to turn that $150 million into $625 million because once they got a little bit of money, like that $150 million on their own network, they'll find a way to double it and then triple it. And, a little manipulation here, a little manipulation there, a little pump and dump here, a little pump and dump there. They could turn that money into what they want to turn it into and put some in their pockets too. No doubt about it. And remember, this is all me speculating based on what's happened numerous times previously in various other exchanges, investments, bailouts. So, we'll see what happens with this particular case. But my speculation is based on everything that's happened previously. And my speculation last week about who was going to bail them out was spot on too. So we'll see though. If you want to call back in, I'm sorry I missed your calls. Call back in. Like 3 people tried to call at once. I gotta figure out how I could do like a wait line. Let's see. Oh, we got a call. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Zoe from Montreal.
Hey, Zoe from Montreal. I don't know why I said Zoe from Montreal, as if you don't call in all the time, and I need to be specific about which Zoe is calling in. Hi, Zoe. How are you?
I'm all right, yeah.
I'm doing good. What would you like to talk about?
Well, I wanted to talk about something that's more related to environment than crypto.
Sure.
So the Canadian federal government just gave the green light to a oil project in the bay next to Newfoundland, and that's pretty shit considering the whole way the liberal government tries to be. We care about the environment, all this and that, and in 2015 they even renamed the Ministry of the Environment to the Ministry of the Environment and Climate Change. But here they go being it's okay, you can go dig up some oil in the sea. And it's just I feel like we also often forget just how big Canada is in the oil producing countries. And it's the 4th largest and the 3rd country with the most oil. And so it's a really big part of our economy.
Right.
And the minister of environment tried and be well, it's okay because we're doing it ecologically. We're gonna dig the oil ecologically. There's no reason for the oil is going to come out anyway, so might as well do it ethically. And it's just annoying, especially since that the current minister is someone who started one of the biggest environmental organization in Canada, who launched with the Liberals being like, since the Liberals are going to win, I'm going to get there and be the minister so I can defend climate and the environment. And like, now he's announcing a new oil rig project. And I also have a bit of a bone to pick with him because he's a representative of the riding I grew up in, and we never used to vote Liberal, like forever, and now it's Liberal, and that makes me sad that we've gone right, basically, because he's a known name and not even able to do what he said he would be doing.
Right.
Like his home, the organization he founded came out criticizing him, like, and the government for allowing this.
Right.
So yeah, just shit news from Canada because we sure love our oil.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I wish I could. I don't know enough about Canada, honestly, Zoe. But I do know that yeah, you guys got a lot of oil up there. I mean, and we're constantly you're our best buddies up in the north, so we're constantly backing your terrible pipelines up. So
yeah, my only respite is that at least my province is mostly renewable energy, and by mostly I mean like 98%, and that's just an humble brag, but
yeah. Well, that's good though. That's a bright side to that, right?
Yeah, we just have so much water. It's easy.
Thanks for the call, Zoe. Have
No
a great
problem.
night.
Good night.
Stay positive.
Yay. Sure.
Take care.
Sure.
All right. Oh, someone just tried to call in, and I might have hung up on them. Let me let them know to call back in. I just messaged 2 people. Oh, let's while we wait, I always say this. While we wait, let me thank some patrons. No, they just called in, so let me take their call. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Matt, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Mohammad. I'm calling from Southern California.
Hey, how are you? What would you like to talk about?
Good. Enjoy the show. I've been watching for quite a few episodes. Good stuff. Haven't caught every one, but so far what I've seen has been pretty good. Hey, I've got like 2 just kind of general comments. Would love to get your thoughts.
Yeah, sure.
The first is I feel like just with all the money and power behind crypto and blockchain, it's probably just going to be a thing. It's just going to be part of our lives in the future. And I guess just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I mean, regardless of the merits, it probably just will, by sheer force of resources and whatnot, it'll just get pushed onto people. I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I disagree. There's nothing that says that any of this is baked in yet. We're not there. The amount of people who use it is just not enough to even warrant that sort of. I mean, you just look at all the various different things that were discussed throughout modern history that we were sold as this is going to be the future. This is the next best big thing. Like you could talk about products that were literally created where we were told this is going to be what's the thing that have just died. And, a lot of time and money went into those too, and they failed. I mean, huge major corporations trying to roll out platforms that we were sold as the next big thing in that space, just not catching on and just dying. We're nowhere near crypto and Web3 being omnipresent in our everyday life.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you're right. I've just in my life, I just don't recall ever seeing something this, backed with so much resources being pushed onto people without, anyone really being able to sort of explain kind of
I
the
mean,
benefits
I mean,
and all
we've
that. It just
we've
makes me
been
a little worried.
we've been told that virtual reality, we're gonna be all living in virtual reality, never leaving the house, living in virtual reality, uh, worlds for decades. Never happened. I
Yeah.
mean, they've tried the technology. I mean, Facebook's trying now again with their whole metaverse push. I mean, certainly we could live our lives online without going outside, never leaving the house. But in terms of like the virtual world they said they were going to create, never came to fruition. Never happened because at the end of the day, if you want that sort of human contact, you do need to go outside. You need to go out and actually living virtually is not a substitute
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
there's
kind of an interesting point because I agree. Like I think people wearing headsets as part of daily life is probably just not going to be a thing. But in another sense, we are sort of living virtually in the sense that we spend a lot of times on our phone. We chat a lot. We spend more time interacting with people online than we do in real life necessarily.
Yeah, but
So like
all the things,
we've gone there in a different way.
all the things we do online to some extent are to enhance our real world lives, right? Like it's not like we are living solely on the internet and all of our human interaction is there. No, I mean, you play games and make friendships and you meet with people and you go to events and like it all builds up to those sorts of things. We're not talking like, you meet someone in your virtual world and you go to the virtual park to hang out and that's like the pinnacle of the friendship. Like sure there are friendships that last entirely online, but for the most part, at least in the stuff I do, it's all to enhance like your real life, right? I mean, that's how I see it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I hope that remains the case. I think that kind of brings me to my second question. Just kind of my second point. I was kind of interested to hear your thoughts. It's more of like a communication or even like marketing, not marketing, but it's more of a communication question. So I feel like maybe we don't do a good job of sort of talking about the downsides of crypto. I feel like maybe we're being unfairly labeled as, modern day Luddites or just sort of not really with it. I'm just be curious to kind of get your thoughts on how we can more effectively kind of communicate some of these criticisms in a way that, resonates with people.
I mean, I think for people who don't care about this world yet, when they're even just interested in hearing about it, I think the idea that it's bad for the environment, it's extremely harmful for the environment, and explain to them how the money is made in your account. I mean, that's a huge turnoff. It's you're literally describing a Ponzi scheme when you're telling people that you put money in, there's no company behind it that you're backing, there's no actual assets in terms of like if this fails, you can sell this off. If you start a business and it fails, you can sell off all the equipment, everything you bought, whatever. You need to recoup some of your costs. There's nothing here. You're putting money in with the intent that other people will put money in at a higher rate, and then you will extract, taking the additional money they put in with you for your profits, leaving those people holding the bag. And the hope is that it just keeps going and going and going. I guess in perpetuity, which is not humanly possible. Eventually the money will dry up. Who knows how long it'll take, but eventually it will. And then what? I mean, you tell the average person that, they're gonna surely question what the hell is going on here. In terms of crypto people, some of them are just the same as like QAnon believers. You just got to give up on them sometimes. They're lost. And I don't say this to be mean. Like, it doesn't matter how much you know about the technical stuff because they always have an answer for it that basically says you're wrong. Do your own research without telling you why you're wrong because they don't know why you're wrong. They don't know. They don't have a comeback for any of it. They'll say that, it's being worked on. Okay, but we're living now. This has been around for 13, 14 years now. They haven't solved the issue that I'm bringing up. But they'll just say eventually it will be solved. There are people who are programmers and developers who criticize how the technology is really bad. It doesn't do anything more fluidly than any other technology. In fact, it's worse than other technologies in terms of speed, in terms of how easy it is to make a transaction. And they don't have anything for that. Basically, their answer is like, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. I mean, there's just a point where there's nothing you can say to people who don't want to hear it. So I don't know. I don't know what else can be done. I mean, the people I've had on this show range. I mean, David Gerard is a programmer himself. Molly White, who runs Web3 is Going Great, is a programmer. I mean, you got people who understand even the tech behind it saying this doesn't make any sense. So I mean, what do you sell to people who aren't even gonna take that? Like that's when you take away the financial stuff, when you take away the cultural stuff, all that's left is the tech. And when you have people saying this tech is crap, I mean, really, what is left? What is left?
Yeah, that's such a good point. I mean, it seems like there are enough robust, legit criticisms on our side, but for some reason, they do a better job of just getting people excited and on board with very little substance behind it and a lot of puffery. So it's a little frustrating. But
the thing is, and it's the same thing that happens when, like, I notice when, like, you debunk conspiracy theorists. I live in a factual world where I don't want to lie to people. I don't want to hurt people by telling them everything's going to be okay or do this and everything will get better if I don't believe that or I don't know that. So I have nothing to offer these people other than what's not, in my opinion, what's not going to hurt them. But I don't have any magic pill that's going to better their lives. Sadly, I wish I did, because I would take that magic pill myself. And when I say I mean, critics of the crypto space in general, we don't have anything to offer them in exchange. The crypto people do. They have their crypto world to offer people in exchange for the modern day, capitalism, finance system, whatever it is that you want to put the blame on for that specific conversation with that specific person. Whatever's going to speak to their emotions better. So when you tell people, hey, if you don't invest, I mean, just listen to their language, their slogans. We're all gonna make it. You're gonna miss out. Have fun staying poor. It's basically all about get in now, hurry up, because otherwise you're gonna miss the train to financial success. That's powerful to say to people. I mean, people want that easy way out, and sometimes they are in such dire straits where they're looking for that easy way out. I mean, that's what I think is, and it's always going to be a losing argument. And I don't want to offer, the offering of nothing versus the offering of something. But you know what? I don't want to do that. Like I don't want to do that. I mean, I maybe it's, maybe if I was a schemer or like that, I would be much more successful myself. But I personally could not live with myself. I could not live with myself.
You mean Bindercoin is not coming out soon?
I don't even mean just in the crypto world, actually. I mean just in, like, just selling myself. I just can't. It's so hard. People know I'm such a bad self-promoter because I have real struggle doing it. I have a hard time asking people for money for something that I believe in, even. So I can only, like the work I do. So, like, I can only imagine if I was trying to sell people on something that I don't believe in, I was just trying to cash in on. Like, I could not live with I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I'll just say one last thing, and I'll let you go.
I will add an addendum there. If I was sure I could do it, just to, like, the Jeff Bezoses and Elon Musks of the world, I would have no qualms about doing it to them.
Right on. I'm sure everyone's seen the Line Goes Up video, and the thing that really resonated with me was that towards the end, where he talked about crypto being sort of a battle between the 5% and the 1%. It's people who wanted to be the boot. That really resonated with me, and I tried to sort of convey that idea to a friend of mine who's really into crypto, and I just felt like it's just not something that's going to resonate, even though it, like, made a lot of sense to me. So it's kind of difficult for me to kind of convey some skepticism without sort of resorting to that point, which felt a little too, theoretical and abstract. Anyway, that was just wanted to add that in there.
I mean, it's hard because it's not like, I don't know. I don't know what I would say to someone I knew that was, like, heavily into this stuff. I mean, I've seen old, like, on Facebook, old, like, high school or college friends talking about, oh, should I invest in this? It's going up. It's going to the moon, because they just see this shit online. And I just go in, and I'm not. I feel very uncomfortable also giving anyone any financial advice beyond like a broad. Like, broadly, I'm telling you guys, the show is called Scam Economy. You know my feelings on this, but I would also feel uncomfortable just going straight up to a single individual and saying, "Don't you do this? It's a scam." But what I do say is, be careful. Like, listen to what my criticisms of this. Hear my criticisms of this, and like whatever you're gonna do, do not put in more than you could lose, because you could lose it all.
Absolutely. Anyway, thanks for taking my call. Great show.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
You too.
What should I do now? Let's go to there's a pro crypto person, which I always love. The more pro crypto people need to call in or chat in the live chat. Bolt said something that stuck out to me. He's arguing in favor of crypto. He's got a few comments. For example, he said, hold on, let me, we got a caller. I don't want to lose callers, so let me take this call.
There's a pro crypto person.
Oh, that's really loud. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Call in or.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, just turn my live stream, like the live stream, off while you're on the call, so I don't hear it on my end. Oh, I think he hung up in general. No, that's not what I meant. Call back in, other caller. Just have the YouTube stream down when you call in. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh my God, they both just hung up. They might have both misunderstood what I was saying. It happens. Well, folks, patreon.com/Matt Binder. After I told you all how dirty I feel promoting it, I got to do it, because if I don't, I can't grow the show. And like I said, I believe in this show. I believe in Doomed. I would not be doing either and having the guests on and covering the topics if I didn't believe I was getting the information out to you that was true and factual and important to know. And I hope I'm doing it in a way that's fun, because otherwise I also wouldn't want to do that, because I can't make it stuffy. Like, sometimes you have no choice, but in general, I hope it's fun. But Bolt said, he said stuff like, when you paint all crypto as a scam, there's no value in your analysis. People will write you off as being ill-informed. There are real scams. Talk about those. I mean, but they all function. Every cryptocurrency, whether it be a token, an NFT, some sort of Web3 company, it all functions where you're putting money in as an investment. But everything involved in the crypto space is a token on a blockchain. By definition, that is a financial asset. People in the crypto space who don't lie to you, who are truthful about at least what it is they're doing in terms of like the basics of what crypto is, will agree here. A token on a blockchain is the basis for every single crypto project. It is by definition a financial asset. A financial asset without any backing whatsoever. A company, some sort of, liquid in the form of something that can be traded to, you take out a mortgage, for example, and you can't pay. What does the bank take? It takes your home. Without anything backing it, how is that not definitively a Ponzi? But I mean, where do your profits come from? The reason they're constantly trying to bring new people in is because they need the new money. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, this is Gus. I'm calling from Toronto.
Hey, Gus from Toronto, just turn down the YouTube stream on your end.
I'm doing that right now.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And Gus, thanks for calling in. What would you like to talk about?
Okay, I would like to talk a little about something that gnaws at me all the time. I am a pretty rare bird because I'm a socialist who happens to work in the finance industry.
Okay. I mean, listen, I've said this before. We all do what we got to do sometimes. It's,
Yeah, well, you know what happens. This is not something that I have done by choice. It's something that, the eddies and currents of life have, they have set me on this course, and it just happened.
Right. No, but I think it's the same as like people have to work. They need a job. They take a job at McDonald's. McDonald's is not a great company, but that's what they got to do, and it's not their fault. Same, I think.
Absolutely.
Same, I think with and anyway, I even say the same to crypto people who don't try to push it on other people so they get involved too. If you're just someone who figured this stuff out and said, "Hey, I'm good at it," and this was your way to make money, and you don't tell other people to invest, I'm actually like, it's not the greatest thing, but I look at it as an equivalent. You do what you got to do sometimes.
Well, as a matter of fact, and this is an aside. This doesn't have directly to do with the substance of my call, but now that you bring this up, back in the day, Bertrand Russell made some very, very perceptive observations about the general lack of financial literacy among people in the left who should really know better.
Right. I mean,
in the sense that people in the left are so repulsed by that stuff, understandably so, that they don't feel inclined to make the effort to understand how the wheels and the cogs turn and what drives the machine. But this is something
I will say, admittedly, I was one of those people. What got me to look more into it, and I still don't know enough. It's still because it is very confusing, honestly. A lot of it is very hard to understand. And I'm assuming just like the crypto world, I'm assuming it's by design. It's purposeful. So
absolutely,
the plebes
that's the obfuscation is the first barrier of entry.
Right.
You have to when you work in this industry, you very soon realize that the emperor has no clothes, and that it's all obfuscation, and it's all about separating fools from their money.
Right. Yeah.
And this brings me to what I wanted to comment on, and it is, as I said, this is something that drives me up the wall, and it is when people talk about crypto and all these things as means to make money. You're not making shit. You're not making money. You're taking money from others, money that was earned through providing services, through working at a job,
labor,
whatever means, but it's not money that is being reinvested from crypto into crypto. It's money that is coming from the real economy, lured by the promises of crypto to enrich the pockets of those who got in early. But the real money was made elsewhere, not in crypto itself. The crypto is like a giant vacuum cleaner. That's what it is. Are you there?
Yes. Yeah. I'm taking in what you're saying because you are on a roll right now. This is fire. Excuse me. This is exactly it. I mean, you're describing what I was just calling it before. It's when you require new money to come in order for the prior investors to take out profit, and it needs to keep happening because nothing is being created. No money is actually being earned, like
That's
you just said.
Right, and
it's a Ponzi. It's a Ponzi.
It's money that is real, that is really was produced in some way or another. It was a product of the actual economy, not of this pie in the sky sort of magical thinking. Okay, it's people who sweated it at McDonald's or at Starbucks, that took their savings and said, well, you know, the only way I'm going to be able to make it in this world if I put my money into this, because otherwise I'm dead.
Yes.
Because what future can you look forward to if you are close to 30 years old and you're still working at McDonald's?
Right.
What does the future store for you?
Right.
And the thing that I find particularly insidious about the whole crypto mindset is that it's all about me. There is no sense of community. It's all about making it somehow.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how.
You know what?
But the important thing is that I am going to make it. But the thing that people have astonishing blinders for is that they don't realize that for them to make it, there's got to be a critical mass of people out there who are not making it and are just feeding the machine for them to suck it up with their giant vacuum cleaner.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? Here's the thing. They realize, and they being, you know, those in the crypto space who are thinking me, they realize that dynamic, that the suckers are going to care about the community. They are going to care about that feeling of belonging and that feeling of, hey, we're all gonna get rich together. And that's where you see these slogans that are lies about how, oh, I'm doing this for the community, or we're all, like, one of the slogans is literally, we're all gonna make it. I mean, no,
but
it's
the
not
problem
possible.
Is that we're all not gonna make it. It's not that it's impossible for everybody to make it. Well, at least given the conditions of late capitalism. You know, if we take out the wrecking ball and you know, wipe everything out and start anew, well, maybe everybody will make it. But as things are, without some profound transformation, there's going to be a tiny fraction of people who are going to make it, and the rest of the suckers are going to continue sweating it out.
Yes. I mean, well, you brought up so many points. I'm trying to figure out what to mention first. All right, so the idea that when you know, we're all gonna make it, that's one that's really great, because whenever I ask someone who tells me how crypto is, whenever a pro crypto person comes at me, a crypto advocate, you know, Bitcoin maxi, you know, an NFT investor or whatever, and I ask them, listen, give me something here, sell it to me, in terms of, sell me the idea of this is going to better, you know, society, better lives. And their go-to is always, I made money off of it. I sold this amount of Bitcoin that I bought early, and I bought a house with my Bitcoin profits. I was able to completely change my life because I made the money. That's great for you.
This is,
but what?
Yeah, exactly.
But what does that do for everybody else?
Exactly. This is not something that is socially scalable, so to speak.
Right.
It's impossible to scale this.
Right. And that's why it's always baffling to me when someone says they're going to come along and make the progressive case for crypto, or they're a leftist who likes crypto and that leftists should be the ones taking over crypto. Cryptocurrency is inherently in contrast. It is in a battle with progressive ideals. It cannot coexist.
The thing is that nobody talks about, you know, I sound like an old fart, but nobody ever talks about making money the old-fashioned way, that is to say, working. It's all schemes to become rich without doing shit.
Right.
And mind you, I think there's plenty to criticize in the idea of the of the Protestant work ethic and all of that. So I'm not advocating for that when I say people don't think about making money the old-fashioned way anymore. I'm far from me to be defending that. But on the other hand, in a world where ruled by I don't want to use the word socialist, because I know that this is not going to be an idea generally shared by everybody. But let's say that in a world that is ruled by humanitarian principles, to use as neutral a term as possible,
right?
This cannot and should not exist,
right?
Because there is no meaningful productive work associated to it.
Right. I mean, listen, when you bring up like the old-fashioned way of working, like we don't even have to like talk about the old-fashioned way. Like there was there was a time.
It's just a turn of phrase.
No, I know, but I just want to point out that like there are plenty of ways that you can create something. Like we can criticize, and we should, the companies like Twitter, Facebook, Google, YouTube, TikTok, all these terrible companies, but these were all services and products that in many ways hurt, and obviously were negative, gave negative benefit to the world, but in also many ways gave positive benefit to the world. Like those are products, those are things put out in the world where you and me are talking right now because of those services. Crypto is not enabling anything like that. Crypto is not enabling anything good like that because there's nothing behind it. There's no product, no service. All this money flowing into crypto. Imagine if it went into creating the next technological product to help people socialize even better than they currently do. It could be being put into the next medical breakthrough. It could be put into the next, I don't know, just even entertainment product that makes people happy just by
absolutely. This is we should never look askance at that as at making people's lives better. But the problem is that crypto doesn't do that. Maybe it does that for a very few people at the top, and then it promises the world to all the rest. But it's like all cults. If you look at their phraseology, they are all the same. They use the same. It's in the case of crypto, it's good luck staying poor. And in the religious world, it is God have mercy on your soul. But it's all the same sort of bullshit message. We have a direct line to the truth, and you don't.
All right.
That's the content of their message, and people are so desperate that they plug into this because they think, well, if there are all these people out there who made a lot of money, which, by the way, it's all illusion, because it remains to be seen if they're going to be able to cash out of this.
Right. Yes.
Because all we're seeing is the number going up, but does that really mean anything? I have my serious doubts.
Right. I mean, what number goes up and then what? And then what? There's a point where number doesn't go up anymore, but it got there somehow. And I'll tell you who are going to be the people who put their money in at the very
You don't need to tell me.
At the very top.
I know that.
Yeah. It's going to be the people who have the most to lose from it, the most vulnerable, and they'll never get their money back.
That's the thing. I think that there are a lot of very cynical people who are at the very top of this that know, how the sausage is made, and then there are all these pseudo smart people, what I like to call the smart people, who think they're very smart, but they have incredible blind spots, because then you ask them, well, all this money that is being pumped into the crypto world, where did it come from? It didn't come from crypto, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, some of it probably is now, but absolutely.
Well, but I think the proportion is minimal. What really makes the number go up is the influx of fresh money from outside.
Absolutely, because otherwise, number's not going to go up.
Exactly. It's a closed system.
Yes.
And then in a closed system, the number doesn't go up.
Right.
Anyway,
this was a fantastic call. I am almost definitely going to clip it as like a teaser for people on the free, podcast feed. It really great.
Well,
really great.
I appreciate your words, but generally speaking, adulation is bad for everybody. So I thank you for your kind words, but I'll try to forget, because otherwise I'm gonna get too pleased with myself.
Hey, also, it's human. Anyway, I think it's human nature though. When someone says something that's really good or does something really good, I think it's worth telling them that, so they know that there's people appreciate what I said. Doesn't mean you sit back, relax, and let that take over for the rest of your life, but it's good to know.
Well, anyway, the thing that I would like, if I were to distill this conversation to just a couple of words, is and leave you and the rest of the audience with that thought to ponder on, is to think about the difference between making and taking.
Yes, perfectly said. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Absolutely great call. I hope you call.
It was great calling you. I wish you the best with the show. I hope that this will not be the last time I call. I've followed all 10 of your shows, and I thought they were fantastic.
Thank you so much. Can I ask you where you found the show?
On YouTube.
Oh, really? You just found it?
I follow a lot of left-oriented content.
Okay, great.
And this popped up, and I saw you also on Sam's show.
Got it, right. Mm-hmm. Perfect. I was wondering, because it was interesting, because when someone new calls in, just a good question to ask how they found out about the show. Have a great night.
I am a solitary leftist.
Love it.
Let's put it that way, because I don't really I consume a lot of content. I think a lot about these things, but for a number of reasons I haven't really engaged in any action in many years, so to speak.
Listen, I think there are many reasons for people to not be able to, and I think that's everyone has a role to play. You don't need to be on the feet on the ground, or necessarily. If your talent is better off doing what you're doing, understanding the system, and sharing your knowledge with me and my audience here, then I think you are doing something. Like this is something to hear this from someone in the finance system who works and straight up just said what you said. I think that's very important for people to understand what's going on here, that even people such as yourself who fully work and understand this world can even see through what's going on here. I mean, that's incredibly helpful.
There is something that if people would like to know more about the financial world, written by somebody who has left-leaning sympathies, a book that I always recommend is how I forget the author now, but the title is How Wall Street Works and for. It's a fascinating and very illuminating read.
It is Doug Henwood.
Doug Henwood, that's right.
Yep.
The book is old. I think that there's a newer edition that came after the 2007 debacle, but the bulk of the book was written at about the time of the first internet boom. But nevertheless, how the machine works has not reached, in essence, for all the talk about financial innovation and all the rest of it.
Right. I think that's a good idea to get Doug Henwood, because I'm familiar with Doug Henwood. I should check out this book. I should get him on this show to talk about this because, like you
Absolutely.
said,
I think
it's the
he
same.
would have
Yeah.
fascinating things to say.
Yes.
I encourage you to do that because that would be a truly fascinating listen.
Right. Thank you so much for the idea and for the call. Have a great night.
Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye. What a great call. That's why I do this live call-in part of the show, because if I didn't, we'd be missing out on calls like that. And then there was that episode where it was literally caller after caller sharing their crypto dating scams that have targeted them. That was a great episode. John from Australia, when he calls in like he did, I recently just put up a clip of his phone call about the Axie Infinity stuff last week. I uploaded that to the stream as a standalone clip. You know, great stuff. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how's it going? I'm calling in from Texas. My name's Alex.
Hey, Alex from Texas. What would you like to talk about?
Well, a couple of things. First thing is, have you heard of the show on Netflix called Startup?
I have not, actually. Let me...
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Oh, wait. Is this the crypto show? People have told me to check this one out. This is...
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
With Adam Brody?
Dude, it is so good. To me, it's good entertainment-wise. Now, I am not as I'm not as well versed in the whole crypto thing. I mean, I have a general idea of it, but my problem with understanding it more is that it's so absurd. It's like, how is this even happening, you know? But yeah, the show is excellent. I mean, basically all it shows is how crypto, basically it's gangs. It's just gangs. People form into gangs and everyone tries to pump up their own brand, except they have corporate gangs.
Oh, wow.
That's
this
what the show is.
This show came out years ago. They just only recently went on Netflix.
Yes.
But this is from 2016. I got to reach out to the creator of this show because he clearly has opinions on this. If he was writing about, he was writing a fictional thing about it in 2016, before that, obviously, if it was made in 2016, it means he was writing it well before that too.
Yeah, right. Seriously. Yeah, and I think you would really get it. I think you would enjoy it, and maybe you probably have. YouTube has all these essays about different shows. You might it might inspire you to spin off on to write something about it, because it is multiple seasons. It's kind of like The Wire, not as good as The Wire, but it's got a lot of different there's levels to it. It's great.
Yeah, I'll definitely check this out. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanted to mention?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's see. The other thing was okay, so there's somebody on the internet who I have actually a background with. Maybe you've heard of him, Adam22.
Yeah, I have heard about it. He's like a libertarian guy, right?
Yeah, Ayn Rand. I used to be kind of friends with him on Facebook. We kind of have the same mutual friends, and I know him because of the BMX. I'm a BMXer myself, and
oh wait, I'm thinking of someone different then. But he's also a libertarian guy, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, Adam22. Yeah, he is a libertarian. Ayn Rand. He's an Ayn Rand guy. He does the No Jumper podcast. Now he's all into rap, basically. But before, he started out in BMX.
Okay.
Okay, and he's from Connecticut, the same city as Adam Sandler. Anyways, his origin story is amazing. He straight up says, "I was a scammer."
That's surprising.
He started like, that's how he proudly, I guess the statute of limitations, or I don't know, it's passed or whatever. So he proudly talks about how he's how great he was at scamming, blah 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 blah.
You know who I was confusing him with? Because I had to look it up because I was confusing him with Adam Kokesh.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Okay.
Go ahead. Though.
Okay. Well, but do you know Adam22? Do you see a picture?
I looked him up. I'm familiar with him now. Yeah. I mean, I'm not as familiar with him as I am with the other guy, because that guy, I believe, had a whole thing with Sam Cedar when I was on that show. So that's how I know of him. But I have come across Adam22.
Okay. So that's oh man, it's interesting to see him. He's like a Jake Paul. How do I put it? Well, you know who he is.
Yes.
Anyways, so his origin story as a scammer is a thing, and I've been thinking a lot about that whole scamming thing, and now it's interesting. He's kind of like he is a culture vulture. He's not kind of, he is a culture vulture. And on the other day on Twitter, I'm scrolling, and I mean, he inserts himself into places and that he's not from, and just takes money. He profits off of stuff that happens in places where he's not from, and up drama, starts beefs, and puts the camera in everyone's face and gets off of it. So I've been thinking about that. I'm scrolling on Twitter, and I see this thing about NFTs in Ethiopia. And I was so confused when I saw it. Okay, so it was like a commercial, in thinking about all this stuff. And I need you as a tutor. Maybe you could help me walk through because I understand it was amazing to see. Ethiopia, there's a commercial promoting the diversity of hair in Africa. Right? That's a cool thing, right?
Right.
Like, good. Yeah. Say it loud and proud. Be who you are, and no shame. And then suddenly it slaps NFT. It's like magic. It's like, look here, shiny object. This is cool. Boom, NFT. And it's like a quick little commercial. So, okay. I'm trying to understand how this thing works. Somebody puts money into this organization who we don't know who owns it. We don't know who's runs that whole organization, but they made a fancy video, and they took a trip to Africa to make a fancy video with a camera crew, and they say they're selling an NFT. So then if I'm interested, I send them money, and then what happens? This is where
say this again. I'm a little bit confused by the order here. Go through it one more time with me.
Okay, so I'm on Twitter. I'm looking at this. I'm scrolling through Twitter. Boom! Suddenly, there's a commercial. Actually, it's a friend of mine, or former friend. He became a crypto bro, and I can't really associate. But I was lurking on his page, and I see this commercial celebrating the diversity in Africa, and it's a very well done video. And suddenly, in between, it's like a subliminal message. NFT. You can buy your NFT, and it can support whatever. I guess the diversity. It can sustain the diversity of hair in Africa. Is this what I'm supposed to be thinking? I guess maybe that's the magical thinking in all of it. But I'm trying to understand the mechanics of this.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not even understanding how they're going to do that. I mean, they're not going to do that, but I'm trying to understand how they're trying to sell. They're going to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even.
Well, this is just an example for me with NFTs and cryptos in general. Like this whole scam.
You're talking in general. Yeah, it's just the marketing. It's a marketing ploy. Like anything that they claim can be done with NFTs or crypto, there's nothing stopping you from doing it with any other technology or with fiat currency like the US dollar, euro, whatever. There's nothing. There's nothing stopping it. The only difference is that you use crypto or NFTs as a marketing ploy to extract money from crypto bros. That's it. I mean, Ukraine made tons of money in donations from crypto people. Why? Because they accepted it in crypto and made it seem like something was going on that wasn't. There was no reason they couldn't raise money via US dollar. In fact, they have. They've raised way more money from fiat currency than they have with crypto. Yet you go online and what do you see? Story after story after story of how much money they raised in crypto. Why? Because that's what crypto bros wanted. That was there was a marketing ploy. Ukraine knew they make it so crypto people could donate with crypto. The crypto people would want to donate then. Though they wouldn't have donated to Ukraine otherwise. The only reason they're donating to Ukraine is because of the crypto aspect. And no, it's not because they could have only donated via crypto. There was nothing stopping them from donating via US dollar or euro or other fiat currency. They wanted something out of it. What do they get out of it? The headlines, the press, the legitimization of crypto. That's what that was all about. And of course, there was that whole thing, like I did on the Ukraine episode of the show, about how a good chunk of them were expecting an airdrop for donating to Ukraine, because that's what Ukraine said they would do. An airdrop is basically when people who have invested in a certain token or NFT project or whatever, if they get in early enough, the founders of that project reward them with a like free tokens or an NFT in their wallet, which in turn is basically like, oh wow, it just gave me free money because I'm going to turn around and sell it and get back my investment or even more. That's happened in many other projects. ApeCoin went out to everyone who owned a Bored Ape NFT. If you turned around and sold those ApeCoin right away, you probably made like 6 figures just by selling the ApeCoin, and you're still holding on to your Bored Ape NFT for no reason other than for owning the Bored Ape NFT. And of course, so the ApeCoin Foundation, which has no connection to Yuga Labs, I should say,
Wow.
can pump the coin.
It honestly, like, when I hear you say that, because like when I try to go through that in my head, like it's almost depressing. It's like so that's really happening. So basically, it's really all about attention. So like people, it's an attention economy. I mean, that's
it's you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours economy. They want something out of it. It's all,
and crypto and NFTs are a way of like trafficking in. It's an inflated. It's a bubble. It's just a big old bubble.
You got to pump my bag if you want to get something out of me. So what are you going to do for me to pump my bag? Oh, you're going to make a big deal out of these crypto donations? All right. That's going to get tons of press. People are going to buy in because they want to, they're seeing the press. They want to see what the whole big hubbub's about. You're going to, you're going to make my my holdings worth even more. So that's a win-win for them. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know why I'm so.
It's not even.
I don't know why I'm so surprised now to think about it, because it's kind of the same church, different pew since I've been alive.
It's not even hidden. Like in that Ukraine episode, in the video version on YouTube, definitely go check it out. I think it was episode 6
I saw part of it.
7. I want to say.
Yes.
In that video, I have screenshots and clips from Twitter. When the Ukraine government announced on their official Twitter account that they were going to accept Bitcoin and Ethereum, those are the 2 biggest cryptocurrencies or blockchains, however you want to put it. Both are accurate. There's no other that comes close. Those are it. And I highly doubt we're ever going to see anything even get on the level of those 2. They have such a large, far and away. I mean, Bitcoin is miles and miles ahead of even Ethereum, and then Ethereum is leaving everyone else in the dust as well. So I mean, no one's catching up to those 2. I would be, I would be shocked myself to see that happen. But they put out their wallet address for Bitcoin, their wallet address for Ethereum, and then all these other major cryptocurrency founders are jumping into the Ukraine government's replies saying, if you accept my cryptocurrency, I'll donate $5 million to you. Why? Why? And some of them, Ukraine did oblige, started accepting their cryptocurrency, and they did donate a large, like if they said they were going to donate $5 million, they did, or if they said they were going to donate $1 million, they did. But here's the thing: why would they do that? Why would they do that? Why couldn't they have just converted their crypto to Ethereum or Bitcoin or cold hard fiat currency? Why? I'll tell you why. Because they got something out of it by Ukraine accepting their cryptocurrency. Wow. There was like, that was like an investment in themselves. Why would this guy give $5 million? Why would it be? Why would the ultimatum be here? I'll give you $5 million if you do this for me. If you really were just doing it for altruistic purposes, you were just giving $5 million, right? But when you add that ultimatum that you got to do this if you want my money, you're getting something out of it. They know what they're doing. By Ukraine accepting their money, it pumped them, got them PR, got them press. They'll forever be attached to this. They'll be able to continually use this to market their coin. We were, accepted by the official government in Ukraine during the Russia invasion. I mean, it doesn't get any more legitimate than that, right? It's all a marketing ploy, all a marketing scheme for these people to fill their pockets. That's all it is. In every single sense of the word, in every aspect, whatever they're doing is 24/7. How do I enrich myself even further off of this and insert whatever the current event is at the time where I said the word this, because that's what it is.
Yeah, that paints the picture. That paints a very good picture. I just have one more thing to say, and then I'm gonna jump off. Okay, number one, I've heard you say in a couple of episodes back, you were describing this whole thing as if you go to the casino, which honestly to me is kind of fun. You know, free drinks and win a couple in the quarter machine, call it a day, right? But when you said if you go to play poker. And you start telling everyone else, man, my poker game is the hottest poker game. If you start walking around the casino telling everyone about how your poker game is, that's basically what's happening. And that is such a great analogy. It perfectly describes how ridiculous the whole thing is. And my last thing, have you heard of the book Crystallizing Public Opinion by Edward Bernays?
I have not, no.
Okay, so he's like the godfather of marketing. So as soon as you were talking about this, I'm realizing like, oh my God, this is just like the science of marketing. And like, they're just ripping days from this playbook. Edward Bernays, he's like,
published in 1923. This is the, this is like probably some foundational stuff here.
Exactly. This is, it's the Bible of all this stuff. And when they were starting to do all the, I mean, it's based off of some pretty dirty science, really. The ethics of how they got all that stuff.
Bernays was named one of the 100 most influential Americans of the 20th century by Life. That's wow.
Yeah. So as you're talking about that, it just reminded me like, yeah, oh my God, this is Edward Bernays, like the ghost of Edward Bernays. Yeah. Anyways.
Damn.
Man, thanks for tutoring me on this. I'm painting that picture for that video. It's always, images have a bunch of words behind them. Those were the words I needed to see or hear.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for the call.
All right, thanks, man.
Have a great night.
You too.
All right, so I set some of these comments from Bolt Decide, but here's the one that stuck out to me from Bolt. Now I read the previous one about when you paint all of crypto as a scam, there's no value in your analysis, and people will write you off as being ill-informed. There are real scams. Talk about those. I addressed that, but this is the one that caught my eye. Bolt, in a reply to another user in the chat, viewer, I should say, in the chat, said, if you use a credit card, the funds get... Hold on, caller. Let me just finish this right here, and then I'll take your call. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to lower the volume on the calls just so I could address this. So Bolt says, when you paint all of crypto as a scam... Oh, no, that's the old one. Bolt says, if you use a credit card, the funds get sent through like 7 companies, all taking a cut. Visa and MasterCard are deep into crypto because they don't want to be disrupted. Well, I've heard this. I hear this fee thing over and over and over again. And, I wanted to... when I saw it, I quickly did a little bit of math here. And so... a typical credit card processing fee will typically cost a business between 1.5% to 3.5% of each transaction's total. So, for example, if you sell something for $100, Visa or MasterCard will probably take, like, let's say, $2 off that $100 purchase. The buyer, the consumer doesn't see that. The business sees that. With crypto, the buyer pays the fees, which if you're a business, I guess that's good. But if you're a consumer, not so much. And just looking like, what's commonly used for transactions in terms of buying and selling? Well, people buy NFTs, right? Let's see what the current going rate for Ethereum is. So let's say I want to, get a .eth domain right now. You guys see it all over Twitter in people's like usernames. If they're a crypto person, how do you know? They have a username .eth, right? So if the name is Bob, they have bob.eth, right? So on the site where you can register one of those .eth names, and this is a blockchain domain, which means you can only buy it on the Ethereum blockchain here for this specific one. So a Ethereum registering one of these, the price for registration is currently about $6.50. Okay, $6.50. So if I was buying something that's $6.50 on via Visa or MasterCard, like I was going to the store and getting a few snacks at 7-Eleven, and came out at $6.50. 7-Eleven would be paying what, like 12, 15 cents, something like that, maybe 20 cents. Okay, off a $6.50 purchase. All right, that's the Visa MasterCard fee as it gets sent through all these different processing companies and transactions or whatever. Okay. Back to the Ethereum blockchain where I'm trying to register this domain, this .eth domain. So it costs $6.50. Oh, what's this? I got to pay the gas fees now, right? That's the fee. So they're telling me up front what the gas fees are. Remember, I got to pay the fees, not the registration company, not the ENS.domains company. So let's see. At most, they say, the gas fees will be 0.016 Ether. How much is 0.016 Ether right now? Let's find out. 0.016. Oh, $52. A $52 fee for an item that costs $6.50. And that fee ranges based on how busy the Ethereum blockchain is. How many transactions are going on right now? So if this was used in the same way Visa and MasterCard is, where we're talking billions and billions of regular transactions, that fee, I could only imagine what that fee would be. $6.50 with a 20-cent fee to the business, or $6.50 with a $50 fee to the consumer? Which one do you think is more likely to, I don't know, look more palatable to the everyday person? I don't know. You tell me. Hey, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Slice Keeper from New Mexico.
Hey, Spice Keeper. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, pretty good. Can you hear me?
I'm doing good.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought up that example of the transaction fees on Ethereum. That was a good example of why Ethereum sucks to use, so good job on that.
Right, but Ethereum is also the second most popular currency, cryptocurrency, and it's far and away bigger than even anything that comes after it. Like, we're judging it, like, this is something I know you're going to say because you're one of my resident crypto viewers, which I appreciate you being a viewer. But I want to address it right up to the bat because, it's something that always comes up. Listen, this market's going to be, the space is going to be judged by its major players, just like the tech industry is judged by what Google and Facebook do. You can't really, it's impossible to look around. The market has decided, the crypto market has decided that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be rewarded, and they're going to be the major players in the space. They've decided to reward two of the worst. And that's just how it is. That's who wins here. I mean, that doesn't say much about the space either, to be quite honest.
Well, I agree with you in terms of, yes, they're the two most popular. I think they have different reasons as to why they're popular.
Sure.
Now, you mentioned that Ethereum was ahead of most of the competition by leaps and bounds, but I think what you meant to say was that the market cap is bigger than all the other cryptocurrencies.
Well, yeah, and the liquidity and the number of people and the number of transactions and users.
Right, but that doesn't have to do so much with the technology. So if we took it back, or we stayed on the same topic, but sort of compared it to its competitor, which I feel is a good, it's an easy way to base it because Ethereum is changing up their whole thing. Like they're moving from proof of work over to proof of stake, and they're going through all kinds of growing pains. It's like they're going to have a heart replacement here in a couple. Who knows how long it's taking for them to actually upgrade? But what they're upgrading into is proof of stake. And you look at why, like, think about it. Why did they start to move over to proof of stake? I would say proof of work, uses up a lot of electricity. Plus, the rest of the field is going in the way of proof of stake due to its energy consumption. So we're going to compare Ethereum to Cardano on the topic of fees. So I'm glad that you brought up the gas fees on Ethereum for sending as a percentage on Cardano, which is, I would say, it's one of its biggest competitors, Ethereum. The transaction fee is 0.17 ADA. So that's across the board. You could send thousands, millions. It's going to be, for just one transaction, it's 0.17. So in that regard, I would say, it's better than Ethereum, but also it's better than Visa.
The transaction is just 0.17 flat no matter what?
It's 0.17 flat no matter what, and you never have to deal with gas or nonce or having to worry if it's like going to go through. If you mess up a transaction, you don't have to pay the transaction fee is going to go back to you. You get your money and you don't have to pay. Like in Ethereum, if you have to cancel a transaction, you have to pay for that. And sometimes, depending on the time of day, that could be like $150. But with Cardano, you could cancel. You get back the network fee and you get back your money.
It does say, I'm looking this up, the fees are calculated based on a fixed ADA amount and an ADA cost per byte. As these constants can be changed, ADA transaction fees will likely fluctuate over time.
Yes, they will fluctuate over time. Will fluctuate over time.
Right. But, Cardano is not one of the major, it's certainly one of the bigger of the alternative ones, but it's not anywhere near the two major players. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens with this Ethereum move to proof of stake, because that's going to be, I guess, the make it or break it for crypto when it comes to a future, when it comes to the fees and, I guess, the massive energy waste. But again, like you mentioned, they've been saying they were gonna do this forever. We'll see when this happens.
Well, yeah, I would agree. I think they're gonna fall on their face, but maybe not. Maybe they'll pull it through. I see it as like a lot of the projects working together, more like I call it multi-changular, but it's multi-chain, like interoperability, where they're, working together to do different things done. I would say Cardano would be a close competitor because, it does everything that Ethereum is looking to do, except for that Ethereum is trying to be more like Cardano. Like we're offering, smart contracts. There's some, like today there was something that came out was pretty cool on Cardano. It was a DApp called Roundtable. And what this is, it's basically a DApp that enables multi-signature. So basically you can have a transaction where it doesn't go through unless multiple people sign their part of the transaction. So let's say I had my receiving address in there and you had yours in there, and then let's say a majority part had theirs in there, and we decided we wanted to buy a majority report sticker. I don't know. but we had to make the decision amongst the three of us. So in that instance, the transaction wouldn't go through without all three of us signing the multi-sig. So that's pretty cool. I think that could be utilized in a lot of different ways. Again, I don't know how it's going to change the world, but maybe somebody will find a way to help else with this technology.
Who's behind Cardano?
Charles Hoskinson, actually. There was somebody in the chat who mentioned maybe trying to get him on your channel. Now,
Yeah,
I think out of all the founders, he might do it.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll have to reach out. Isn't Cardano not really like decentralized though? Isn't that the whole point? Like, there's a foundation that runs it.
No, I would say Cardano is okay. So there's three parts of Cardano. When you look at the top, there's Cardano Foundation, and then there's IOHK, which is now IO Global, and then the third part is, I believe, Emergo. So there's the trifecta there. But we're decentralized more than Ethereum is because we have stake pools. Not stake pools. Yeah, you can run a stake pool. Like on Cardano, you can take a Raspberry Pi and run a node, like a staking node, a stake pool, which the whole network basically depends on all the different nodes within the network to run. So the more nodes there are out there, the more decentralized it is. Ethereum isn't going to get this until they go through their hard fork. Also, when people want to stake to Ethereum, they have to have 32 Ethereum to stake, and they have to have it locked up for a certain amount.
Right.
Whereas with Cardano, you can stake, 5 ADA, 1 ADA, and you could take it out anytime you want.
I'll have to look more. I'll have to look more into Cardano. How is the distribution of its the ADA coins? Because I know off the top of my head, Solana, which I think is a pretty pretty big of the alternative ones. I was looking into how the distribution of their coins is, and something like, I don't want to give an exact percentage because I don't remember off the top of my head, but like almost half of the supposed decentralized Solana blockchain, almost half of its currency is in the hands of the people who funded VCs.
Yeah, I won't argue with you on that. I don't like Solana.
But what about? But I'm asking you about Cardano's.
Solana.
I'm asking about Cardano's.
Look at Solana in the space is it's more of a VC backed project.
Right, but what about
Cardano? It was created, and then the way they released it was, they let all the VC people know about it before they let it public to everybody else. And the VC people went and pumped it. Like, I forget, there's a guy. I won't try to say his name or try to describe him, but he's pretty popular. He was pumping it too.
But what about Cardano? How's the distribution there?
On Cardano?
Yeah.
I would say that it's more spread out than Solana for sure. And I don't look too far into other coins. Like, I know there's coins I'm interested in that bring utility, but I just haven't. Like, Cosmos is pretty cool.
I'm looking at because this to me is a major thing with all these currencies. We're sold that all these cryptocurrencies, we're sold that this is going to be, and you're trying to tell me how it's going to, it's really it's a good way for people to enter and make money, and you're talking about Cardano specifically, how it's open for more people. And I'm looking at this data here. I'm seeing these stats. The top 10% of Cardano whales hold 94% of all ADA. That's a lot.
Well, does that take into account the exchanges that deal with the ADA, like Binance or Coinbase, because they have to have their huge wallets.
It's talking about 31 billion ADA out of the 33.43 billion circulating in the market. So it seems like it does take that into account.
Well, yeah, it's circulating into the market. Yeah, it does. So you could have a situation where an exchange has a huge wallet, and then I wouldn't call an exchange a one of the like spread out as distribution. It messes up the number, but it's true. Yeah.
I mean,
these exchanges have huge wallets.
You gotta guess that the people who are those whales, like when you're considered a whale, you have a large you have a large holding here. You gotta assume all those whales aren't holding it because they bought in just like you. I mean, something's going on here.
Well, I don't know about that, because I would say that they're, when they first released Cardano, they released it in Japan. So there were a lot of big investors back then. Who knows what price it was? It might have been 1 cent. Who knows? So there might be some huge, but if you look at the wallet distribution, like how many wallets hold X amount, like at least 1,000? And then how many wallets hold at least 500 or 5,000, 500,000, a million? And I would say, again, I can't look to other chains to try to compare it. This is it's a hard one to answer. I don't know. I guess you stumped me on that, but
yeah, I'm not trying to fuck with you, but I'm trying to understand like every single thing that's come across to me. It all looks very manipulated. That's all I'm saying. Like, obviously you're not the person doing it, which is why I'm extra interested, because just a normal guy who seems to be really interested in this, and if someone else like you is out there and they're a little bit on the iffy end, I think you should be careful. Maybe Cardano is the answer for you. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm just saying, everything doesn't look like it's on the up and up here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. If you look at it through a different lens, though, you might be able to find things that could come out of it that are, helpful.
Maybe.
The last thing I want to say, and then I'll let you go, because I know I don't want, other people can call in. Cardano, all I do is talk about Cardano because I love Cardano, and that's like all day I research Cardano.
Why did that one stick out to you?
It stuck out to me because it felt, there's a couple of different reasons. One, because like on the tech side, and one on the investment side. On the tech side, it felt the most like an open source, sort of like Linux or Ubuntu of when I compared it to all the other different chains out there. On the investment side, when I came in...
When did you come in?
Well, I came in 2017, at the end of 2017,
so you're
into
early.
Cardano, but I came into the crypto market like the summer, late spring of 2017.
Okay, so hold on. So you're saying you bought into Cardano in 2017, right?
Yeah, at the end of 2017, yes.
Okay, so you bought in what, at 65 cents, $1?
Well, when I bought in, it was 18 cents.
Okay, so you got in like weeks into Cardano launching.
Basically, there were 4 days that went by since I had first heard of it. And the day that I actually said, you know what, that's too many times for me to actually hear about it, just like in passing, I need to go look what it is. And I spent like 3 hours, 4 hours, like just trying to figure out what it was. I tried to read the white paper. You can only try to read the white paper. I mean, almost have to have like a PhD to read some of these white papers. But out of all the ones that I was looking at, I like that one. Plus, it was on the up and up, and it was trending like so many times that I'm hearing it over and over. What I decided was I moved money from this coin called Verge, which is a privacy coin. might have been a competitor to Monero. I was doing it because I just thought, it'd be nice to have a privacy coin.
I'm looking at this. I'm reading. This is a crypto outlet, Cointelegraph. So, they're very fair to crypto. In fact, in my opinion, a little bit too fair.
Not to Cardano.
But this is a recent article, I think, just today.
Okay.
And
cool.
obviously, it's based on public data, so you could look into it. Headline: 67% of Cardano holders underwater, and most bought less than 1 year ago. So the gist of the article here is that Cardano saw most of its buy-ins at a time where it was at its all-time high, and the vast majority of people who bought in at this point are now, if they need to cash out, they're at a loss.
That's correct.
I mean, again,
that's
good
I would
good
say
for
that's
you that
adoption.
But I mean, it's easy for you to say as someone who got in early, and you're fine. But
when I got in, it went up and then it went down, and I did not sell, and I was down through the whole,
I mean,
up until now.
At 17 cents, you were down pennies for, I don't know. I'm looking.
Well, at 17 cents to $1.30.
Oh well, if you spend $1.30 on it,
top.
If you spend $1.30 on it, though, you're down too, because Cardano's trading at $1.09 right now.
Right, but okay, so I'll just go back to why I chose Cardano. When I look at the list, when I look at Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano lined up next to each other, I say, all right, who's been around? Who's the new kid on the block, and who's ran already their whole lap? I would say Bitcoin has had a pretty good run. I don't think there's too much gain left in the growth of Bitcoin. Ethereum, that would have been great to get into, but I said at that time, maybe I'm a year or two too late. Maybe it would have been nice to get Ethereum when it was $13, So, all those people that bought ADA, Cardano within this past year, I would call those people the same sort of, they went at it with the same mentality that, let's say, you went at the regular stock market on GameStop or AMC. It's sort of like a frenzy thing, and then that's where you learn not to FOMO in, or maybe wait for a fallback, like a pullback, or basically at the end of it, you learn that you're just holding a bag until you either sell at a loss or you hold on. Back in 2017, the whole thing, when it started falling, there was a motto that was called just HODL. HODL. It was hold on for dear life. And it was kind of like a way of thinking about it.
But you understand why they want you to HODL, though. It's not because they want you to get past the hard times so you can make money. They want you to HODL so their holdings don't drop, because they think they're asking you to give them more time to get more suckers in. I mean, that's basically why.
Oh yeah, that's true. But if you take it seriously and you do HODL and you really dig in and decide, do I want to be in on this? Is this where I want my money to be? Do I believe this is going to succeed in the long run? I'm not sure that matters, if you think of the tech in the long, look at Alta Vista. It was one of the first web browsers that came out.
Sure.
And it's nowhere to be found now because Google had a better implementation of the same sort of protocol.
Right. Well, no one was in love with Alta Vista like they are with Bitcoin and Ethereum. You straight up see people saying we're not going anywhere else. I mean, you got your Bitcoin maxis who are full on. They don't even like to call it crypto. There are people who are hardcore Bitcoiners out there who literally jump into my mentions and say, I totally agree with you whenever I criticize the crypto industry and Web3. They hate it all, except Bitcoin, which they'll tell me is not crypto. I mean,
Right.
there was
Yeah,
never.
those
There
are
was never.
maxi mentality.
Yeah, but there was never that for Alta Vista, or Ask Jeeves. I mean,
there's that with Mac.
Yeah, and look at Mac,
is like
and look at Mac. I mean, it's not going anywhere.
Well, it stayed somewhere, you know. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right on that one. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
I
even
can't
in
argue.
there,
It's
even
on,
even
like,
even
the,
before
the cult thing,
even
like,
in their
on
hardest
Sundays,
times, even in Mac's hardest like time period, they were able to hold on as long as they were able to until like the iPod came out, because they had that hardcore fan base.
Right, right. So let me ask you, in let's say 6 months, when Cardano's price is gone to $4, let's say,
Could be.
does the let's say, does the article that you pulled up really reflect what's going on there?
Well, I
Because
always bring up this.
at that average,
I
they
don't
would
like
all
to
be in the green.
I don't like to bring up prices to like the current pricing or worth of any crypto when I discuss about the broader critiques, because in my opinion, it does not matter. It does not matter, and I've said that before on this show. But I will bring it up when discussing people who tell others to invest or try to like point out, oh, this is great crypto. Because when you get 67% of, I don't know what the exact number is, but 67% of something that big, it's probably a good chunk of people. They are there is no doubt there is no doubt going to be more than a few who are going to need that money at some point before it goes back to whatever price they paid for it. There are going to be people who are forced to sell at a loss. Someone who's got to pay a bill and they lost their job, or there was an unexpected expense and they gotta sell off what they can't hold on to, and they're going to sell at a loss.
But would you put money that you couldn't afford to lose into GameStop? Like, would you put your last $400 into GameStop?
No.
Because you're pretty sure that the line was going up.
No,
and you
I didn't. But I didn't. I mean, I was watching it happen, and I didn't, because I said to myself, this would be ridiculous. At any time, it could absolutely collapse. Or the second I buy in, most likely, knowing my luck, that's when I'm going to buy at the peak, because why would I do that? I didn't invest in GameStop. I think I bought a few AMC very early on, just because I bought it because
that's the one, AMC.
But I didn't know. Wait a second. I've said this before. I've told this story on Doomed, my other show, many times. At that time, I didn't really have much interest in the finance world, because it wasn't really. I even said in the previous caller, I said this was a fault of mine for never really having much interest in looking into this stuff. I knew of Bitcoin as a from an ideological perspective, because I covered it in 2012 when I was at the Majority Report, when we were talking about how it was like a libertarian thing. But once it became like a financial thing, I didn't really have much interest in those, like in 2017 during like the ICO thing, like the ICO boom. I got interested again during the meme coin, the meme stock stuff, because I was like, what's going on here? This shit's weird. And I looked into it, and I believed that bullshit that was spreading around at the very beginning, because I didn't know enough. I believed, oh, we're sticking it to the man. Look, all these hedge funds are getting fucked. I want to take part in this. So I bought like AMC at like $14 or something, just a few. Like I think I spent like $50 on like 5 shares of AMC. And then a couple weeks later it comes out, there was like 1 or 2 hedge funds that lost. And there was a whole slew of hedge funds that won too, because no matter what, you can't rig the system against the very people who are at the top of the game. You can't rig the system against the people who are pulling the strings. The hedge funds know what's going on. Retail investors are never going to get a leg up on them. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And that's what got me going down into this rabbit hole that sees me now doing a show called Scam Economy, because I see that same dynamic happening here. I mean, I bought into it. I was like, oh shit, we're fucking the man? No, we're not. We're not. You can't beat the man at its own game.
You're right. You can't. I mean, one way you could do it is by voting, and following politics and stuff like that. Well, thanks again for having my call. I
Listen,
appreciate it. It's always a pleasure,
I really do.
talking with you.
I really appreciate you calling in. You're the only. There was a few others early on, but I haven't heard from them in a while. You're right now.
I think everyone gave up, and I honestly think it might be because of like the tone.
I mean,
but
you know what you're calling into the show, and I'm assuming that if I called into like the Bitcoin Magazine podcast, the tone would be coming right at me the other way. You know what I mean? But I don't take that personally. I don't care. I'm actually shocked if that's the case because you know what? I don't think the case has been made in like listen, just because I don't agree with the case for it doesn't mean I can't say, hey, you know what? You made a good case, even though I disagree. And no offense to you, I've not heard even a case that I could say, you know, you made a good argument, even though I disagree. It just hasn't come yet. I'm sorry. And that's really depressing if no one wants to do it. And props to you for continuing to try. And I hope you continue. I hope someone calls in from the pro side that's able to do that.
Before you let me go, then, if I still haven't tried to make even a good, like you have a good point. I have two left if you'd like to hear them.
Why don't you save them for next week? Because we've been going on for a while.
Okay.
I don't want people.
Okay.
And the reason is also because if these are good points, I don't want them stuck at the end of a 30-minute call. People might have tuned out by now, and they might miss the good stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're right. But thanks again for having my call. I appreciate it, and I love the show.
Take care. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. I think that's it for calls. I know there's a few people who called in and are asking me to call in. I think we're 2.5 hours in. Your calls are going to get stuck at the end of a 2.5 hour broadcast. If you got something good to say, it's going to get lost in the sea of calls. Call in next week, the week after, the week after. Unlike the shit coin of the month, this show ain't going anywhere. So I'm going to call the call-in. I'm going to shut the phone-in system down. I got some good people asking right now to call in. I implore you to call in next week. I will take your calls. I can see who you are. You get saved in my call history. I will take your calls next week first if you call in when the show goes live. Before I say goodbye to you guys, though, I do want to do this. Please, if you're watching the show right now. Let me read the super chats. There was only a few. Zachamania, what happened to Let's Go Brandon Coin? I heard it blew up and went bust. Zach, I have not checked on Let's Go Brandon Coin in a while. Let's see where it's at really quick. Let's go Brandon Coin. Didn't it like rename itself to like LGB Coin or something? Or did it rebrand itself the other way? I can't remember. Okay, it is Let's Go Brandon now, because I guess where we at on Coin Market Cap? We are, yeah, not good. Not good if you got into Let's Go Brandon Coin. Ooh. Well, that's a drop. But there's a few Let's Go Brandon coins, so I don't know if I'm looking at the right one. You know, that's how wonderful this space is, right? You could easily be looking at the wrong bullshit. Kowalski with a super chat. Is cryptocurrency more ethical than Nestle water? Ooh, that's a good question. I need to ask environmentalists that. Let me shout out the patrons. If again, patreon.com/Matt Binder, support this show. Thank you to the patrons who joined the Patreon, who subscribed to the Patreon page at patreon.com/Matt Binder since the last episode of this show. Andrew S., Comrade Sai, Lauren S., Matthew R., Melazond, Johnny K., Daniel W., Jane S., David R. Thank you all so much for becoming patrons. Again, you can help support this show by going to patreon.com/MattBinder and becoming a subscriber. I would like to do more content, get more stuff out there on both shows, Doomed and Scam Economy. I'd like to do more YouTube content, more long-form investigations. I need your support to be able to take the time to do that. Patreon.com/MattBinder. Thanks for the super chats to people watching live, like Santa Cliff with a super chat right now. Keep your head up, my friend, says Santa Cliff. Absolutely. Always, I always say, always look on the bright side. Ever the optimists from a guy who runs a show called Doomed and Scam Economy. To my Twitch people, man, last week, you guys went on a complete bend last week with the Twitch subscriptions. Oh, we got some more just during this show. Remember, twitch.tv/MattBinder to subscribe via Twitch. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you basically could be giving me free money at no extra cost to you because Amazon gives you a free on-the-house Twitch Prime subscription every single month. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, simply connect your Amazon account to your Twitch account. You'll get that Twitch Prime subscription. You could give one to each. You give one away every month to one streamer. Hopefully that's me. You have to manually do it every month. They don't let you auto renew the subscription because, again, they're giving you free money. So I guess they're hoping you forget to do it manually after the first month or the second month or whatever month. It expires. They're hoping you forget so they don't give away the free money. So manually you have to do it every month, but you do it. You basically give me free money from Amazon, no extra cost to you, comes out of Amazon's pocket. It's a win-win-win, right? So thank you to the Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime subscribers, and there are people who actually subscribe via Twitch on their own with money too. The DCK Punk, AC Sal 1815, Quagga, Magnus B 1976, Libby 033. Thank you so much. Oh, and Anlena and Cajun. Thank you so much for the Twitch subscriptions. And Captain Bringdown. I'm not sure if that Twitch subscription was at the end of the last show or it's a new one, but I'll say it just in case I missed you. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. Really do. And before I let you guys go, one more thing. I will be sending out these stickers to the patrons who left a comment on that post on Patreon. If you left a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I'd really appreciate if you did that. If you're a Patreon who really doesn't want to give a review to me, you don't have to. Just post in that leave a comment in that post and I'll get you a sticker. But I want to just show you how important it is for you guys to leave that review really quick. And I'm going to open this up eventually, probably next week. If it's, if you leave a review now too, I'll, obviously, and you're not a Patreon, I'll open up those stickers to you as well next week when I start sending them out. Where is the, where do I want to go here? Oh, right here. Once I got change scenes. Here we go. So we got 244 reviews on Apple Podcasts. That's a rating of 4.9 out of 5 stars. As you can see, most people give me 5 stars. Next is those dastardly people who gave me 1 star, a few that gave me 4. Doesn't look like there's any who gave me 3 or 2. You give whatever star you want. I appreciate 5 stars if you really enjoy this show. But look at some of these great comments that people leave. Best crypto explainer. If you want to know about the Ponzi scheme that is crypto and are also weirdly obsessed with it, this is the podcast to listen to. Fascinating topic, says another user. I'm a huge Matt Binder fan and mostly listen to Doomed, but I am loving the deep dive into the crypto spaces. Just learning the lingo has been helpful. I can tell it's a passion project, making it even more enjoyable listening. And, so many people gave reviews, and I'll read some more of them on another episode. But every time I get a new review, the scam economy shoots up in the rankings. And what does that mean? It means more people discover the show. How do I know that? Because the higher I am on the rankings, I don't check like every day, but when I check the stats, when I upload every episode, once a week, I'll go check the rankings and I'll see, oh shit, look at that. That's why I got those extra downloads this week. It helps more people find the show. You can just tell by, look at the people who call in. Some of these people did not call in week 1, week 2, week 5, week 7. They're finding the show as they're searching for crypto stuff or whatever. So if you have a moment of your time, go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Leave a review. If you're a patron, be sure to leave a post saying you left a review in that post on Patreon. If you're not a patron, leave a review, and you will be open for a sticker very soon. It'll be open for you as well. I just want to make sure the patrons get their stickers first. And whatever I got left will go to people who left a review. All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. There was a hype train. What? Whoa. Where'd all these people come from? I gotta thank them. Whoa, wait a second here. We're gonna jump back to the Twitch. And also, while we wait, why don't you guys tell me who you want me to raid? Look at this. Whoa. Whoa, look at this. We got a hype train going on over at Twitch. This happened last week, too. Twisted Sick with the Prime subscription. FernGen with the Prime subscription. Now, remember, these folks are literally giving me a paid subscription via Twitch that does not cost them anything more than their Amazon Prime subscription that they pay for to get all the other Amazon Prime benefits, like the expedited shipping when they order from Amazon, the Prime Video, the Prime photo storage, Amazon Photos. You subscribe to any of that you get with Prime, you get a free subscription on Twitch every single month. If you're not using it, you're just letting it go to waste and letting Amazon keep extra money. You're basically redistributing Amazon's wealth. Truly. Now remember, guys, you got to resubscribe manually at the end of the month. For you, I guess it would be, it's April 8th. I guess May 8th. You're going to have to come back on Twitch and resubscribe. I'll remind you, obviously, but that's what you got to do. Otherwise, Anonymous Gifter just gave out a free one community sub. Thank you. Cactus Danny gave out a community sub gift. Whoa, that basically is someone paying for the subscription for another one. DJ Dub D with the Prime subscription. Thank you. It's great. I love this because, you're basically supporting me monetarily without any extra cost. I mean, Amazon gives me less than the $5 Patreon subscription, but it's free money nonetheless. I'm not complaining. If you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, do this. If you're this is the best way to send me money if you don't want to spend any extra money yourself, honestly. regarding rating, who's that? Kafals? Who's that? Let me look them up right now. I want to give people these 2 minutes for the hype train. So let me just really quickly. Oh, is this the person who's been jumping in people's feeds? Oh, they just jumped off, right? They're not on anymore. I missed them. Are they on? It looks like they're not on anymore. Kafals? G. Mueller says it's like a coupon you forgot to redeem, right? If you have Amazon Prime and you're not using your free Prime subscription, it is a coupon you forgot to redeem. Absolutely. It's like a waste. Zen Cyclist with the 1,000 bits. Thank you so much. Yeah, the Kafal stream ended, unfortunately. Listen, I'm finding people. There's apparently a pro crypto person but I want pro crypto people watching this. If you're a pro crypto person watching this, I want you in here. Jordan Porter doesn't want to call into the show. He's the pro crypto person. He says Matt doesn't even look like he takes showers. Well, I mean, I am someone who grew up in the crust punk scene. I mean, I don't know what you it's so weird that people think that like certain disses affect me. I mean, I literally back in my my real crust punk days, senior year of high school, the summer between junior and senior year of high school, I went a whole summer without taking a shower. I wore the same Subhuman shirt every single day. I was proudly a crust punk. And I'm still proud of those days. And I still consider myself a punk, even though I'm not a crusty anymore. But I want pro crypto people in this chat. I want you guys in here. I hope you call in. It's hard for me to follow arguments made in the chat when they go over multiple comments. Like you're posting multiple comments, so I can't really. But I hope you call in next episode. Ooh, Rico VFMR Centrist with a resubscribe for 1 month. Oh, a new subscription for 1 month at tier 1. Thank you so much. That's a paid subscription right there via Twitch. I appreciate it. It's always so bizarre that people like I know Jackson Hinkle, Mr. Russian propaganda himself. Over on the fascist left. He has a nickname for me that's like homeless Matt Binder or something. I mean, bizarre nickname if you're a leftist. I don't know. I would love to talk with him and get the lowdown of that one. But like, I don't understand. Do you not think this look is purposeful? Do you not think like I have long hair and a beard and I enjoy, looking like this? Like, I'm from the punk scene in New York City. I mean, this is this is the look I'm going for. It's not an accident. King Pawn 2 with the Prime subscription. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna let this hype train go, and then we'll and get me someone to raid. Jordan, I don't ignore any conversations. It's just hard to follow. That was your most recent comment. You have like I can using the streaming software I use, I could I could search just for the comments from one single user. So I see all your comments. I cannot go through all of this and address it via reading your comments. It's just not going to be interesting for people. You need to give me a one concise comment if you're just going to do the chat with maybe a follow-up when I'm talking. But we can't go back and forth with me talking and you just chatting at me. It's not going to work. But again, if you can condense a critique or a point you want to make into like a couple of sentences, I could address that. I'd be happy to. If you want to go on this long rant, I mean, you see how long I take the callers for. And that's because my viewers and listeners can hear the other side. It's more compelling. It makes for better streaming. It makes for better TV, period. That I will be happy to do for as long as you'd like. You know, not usually I probably cut it at like the 30-minute mark, unless you're like really going strong. So, I mean, I don't know. Let me try to see if there's one point you made here that I could address. No one cares about Cardano, Jordan Porter said. Why can't crypto stop bothering the public? Someone who is in the chat of a person who makes his entire personality anti-crypto. I mean, okay. Jordan continues. I mean, there are plenty of Super Bowl commercials I don't care about. Your aunt knows what crypto is because it's a big deal. I guess you were responding to someone. I'm just looking at your comments because again, this is why I can't do it this way. Because if I'm not filtering just your comments, how am I supposed to follow the thread? And then if I do filter out your comments, I lose the replies to your comments from others who you were then addressing. Jordan Porter says he laughs at the tulip argument. I never cared to know about celebrities. Now that there's a super commercial featuring Kylie Jenner, I've decided to make my personality all anti-Kylie. Is your point that I only care about this stuff because it was covered at the Super Bowl? I mean, that's a major issue. But I was talking about crypto 10 years ago, if not more, when it was pretty much just Bitcoin. Jordan Porter says, no, it isn't. It's praxis for lazy cornballs who have never experienced hardship. I don't know what that's addressing. Because again, I won't be able to find it if I'm not filtering out just your comments because it's one of your first. So I don't know what you're talking about. Or you're trying to say I've never experienced hardship. I don't know how much you think I make working for The Majority Report, which is a YouTube show. I don't know how much you think I'm like, I don't understand that argument if that's what you're making. I'm like some like rich, I literally am the sole income maker in a family of 4 with 2 kids living in a New York City apartment in Queens. I don't know what you think I'm living the high life or something, and that's why I'm anti-crypto or something. I'm confused by that. You've not made one single, I don't see anything where you're making a point you want me to address. You're just basically attacking the show, which is fine, but you can't say I'm not addressing your comments when, I mean, you want me to read them, I'm doing that, but what do you want me to address here? That's what I'm saying. I'm going to your most recent comment now. LMAO, you're reading my comments to other people, bro. Well, that's what I'm stuck doing. Jordan Porter said, Def down to call in the future, but you'd have to tell me whether the re-education comment was either wrong or right. I don't know what it was, so let me check. I'm going to filter out re-education. First, last, first left a comment in the live chat, re-education camps for Jordan Porter. I'm assuming it was to something you said. It's clearly a joke. I mean, do I think everyone who invests in crypto is a Nazi? No. Do I think a lot of Nazis invest in crypto? Yes. So you may not be a Nazi, but a lot of people who invest in crypto are. Do I think you should be sent to a re-education camp, Jordan? If that's your question, no. I think you should call into this show next week. There you go. Oh, over on Twitch we got let's see, King Pontu with a Prime subscription. Thank you. Sid Fishes. That's a good Sid Fishes. That's a good username. With the 100 bits. Thank you. And an anonymous gifter gave out 5 community gift subs. Guys, thank you so much. I see the hype train is over. All right, who am I rating? Xanderthal is live. Is he going to appreciate the raid, though? I mean, how many is he even going to... you guys told me, I forgot who, to raid some big Twitch streamer long ago, like a couple weeks ago, and I did, and I got nothing out of it in terms of, like, him even caring, because he had so many people watching to begin with. I want to be able to help out some smaller streamers. Oh, he's only got 14 people in there. Did he just start? I'll send it to him, yeah. All right, Twitch folks, I need you, when I do this raid, to all tell Xanderthal's followers, because he's got a lot of followers, but not a lot of people watching right now, to follow me on Twitch. I'm going to use this to my advantage here. I'm going to be a selfish, let my selfish crypto personality come out. Brenneman says, if my Prime wasn't already being used, you would have gotten it tonight. Give it a week. Thank you, Brenneman. I look forward to it. I'm going to send the... let's do this raid. Let's do it. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in and all the support. Again, patreon.com if you're not a patron. I'd really appreciate if you become a Patreon if you can. There's also the Twitch Prime subscriptions. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And of course, if you can't or don't want to give any money, Apple Podcast and Spotify review. Super, 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 super helpful. Takes seconds. You don't got to leave a written review if you don't want to. The written reviews help, but you can just leave the star review where you just literally click a button. It's that simple. You just gotta remember to go to open the Apple Podcast app and press the button. All right, folks. Thank you so much. Have a great night. And I will see you all next time on the Scam Economy Hotline. What am I else going to say? I don't even know. See you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.